This is Christos, 15 years in the tattoo game, but a few years ago COVID shut down his family business. And his dad moved back to Greece and his partner became pregnant. And he was tattooing clients on a massage table covered with bin liners in the back of a barber shop. Today, he is running a private studio in Leeds, consistently charging full day rates, booked out for months in advance, and have over 35 5-star reviews in less than a few weeks. He got more control, more time, more money, and way more peace of mind than he had before. And in this tattoo business breakdown, we are gonna reverse engineer exactly everything he did. The systems, the mindset, and the exact steps that he took from survival mode to actually building a tattoo business and life that he is proud of.
I'm Christos, a tattoo artist for over 15 years. I've been running my own private studio setup for about 5 years now. Where am I based? I'm based in Leeds, UK.
Christos, he is not a beginner. He is a veteran artist with over 15 years of experience. But like a lot of artists, no one ever taught him how to run a business. For years, he did what most tattooers do. Say yes to everything, rely on word of mouth alone, try to be nice with pricing, and hope that someday the clients will consistently show up to my studio. Before Tattoo Growth, Christos, he wasn't starving, but he was stuck. Inconsistent money, inconsistent routine, clients dictating his day, long hours, low leverage, and no real system behind it. What's the situation like?
I'll tell you what, just a little kind of backstory is that COVID kind of shut down my old family business, which was a tattoo studio that my dad set up with me. And he emigrated back to Greece. And I was in survival mode with a pregnant woman, pregnant missus, and who was having a firstborn daughter in the middle of COVID. So I opened a temporary location at the back of a barber shop. They basically sublet at a really cheap price in this room that they used for storage space. And over the course of the next 12 months from that point, I went from a massage table with bin liners on it to a fully kitted out studio where I'd basically do trade for trade. I'd make £200-300 and then pay for someone to do some plastering. And 12 months later, I managed to kit out the studio.
And in survival mode, Christos, he was hustling. He literally built his studio step by step, trading tattoos for plastering, lights, improvements, just to get by. But the problem was this: the income was inconsistent. He did not have any control of his time, and he had no real pipeline or structure. And a lot of his time during his days was spent on low-level stuff. Endless DMs, long chats, touch-ups, and also some cheap half days.
So my money was very inconsistent. So was my personal life and my routine. And, I didn't have a moat around my actual pipeline. And, people might book out a half day, but then there's when actually it was 2.5 hours of talking and only 1 hour of tattooing. Before, I made it difficult when I was one-to-one directly communicating. We used to have 15 message exchange on Instagram DMs. And then I needed a deposit up front for them to come and speak to me for 1 hour. And then they come into the studio for a full hour and we try and make a design. And then maybe I get them booked in.
And emotionally, that does something to you. You start to feel just like any other artist and not like a actual business owner. You're relying on familiar faces, you're afraid to say no, maybe you're afraid to raise prices, and you simply start to forget that you're actually supposed to enjoy this, right? And Christos, he didn't stumble upon Tattoo Growth cold. For years, he had been that guy on YouTube that search up and look at what the big players in the industry are doing, reading books, learning the marketing terms, trying to figure out all the pieces alone. What was the main thing that made you want to join? Or what was the main thing that you were struggling with at the moment?
Let's say I'm definitely somebody who's on YouTube a lot, trying to listen to the advice of big players. I've been getting warmed up for maybe 5 years. I've watching hundreds of hours of videos, reading all the books, and I think Tattoo Growth passed my sort of qualifier test. But everything that you hit, all the touch points, this is exactly what I think I need, and at the right time.
He wasn't looking for a magic trick. He wanted a proven system that he can trust, so he didn't have to waste another 5 years trying to figure it out all alone.
I started waking up at 5 a.m, invested in a printer, downloaded all the worksheets, I wanted to be top student. And it might have lasted, with that kind of momentum in particular on the platform, it was a good 60 days of diligence. But I don't really need anything more than that, because now the transformation's happened. It's changed my actual day-to-day routine in the business.
And the first shift when he joined Tattoo Growth, it wasn't the ads. It was him as a person. New routines, new standards, actually treating his business like a business. Then we built the machine, a simple but powerful funnel, which is add, to lead, to call, to book it. No more hoping, no more waiting on walk-ins, just a steady stream of people that want to book a tattoo in his style.
I can only tattoo, say, 200 people a year, and the first ad generated 188 leads, and they were warm and in a local radius, ready to give me money. You know, like, that's 130-day stint. So obviously, eventually it's like, right, I'm over flooded. Pause that thing. I was only looking for 30 people.
So Christos went from almost no predictable client flow whatsoever to 188 leads, around 70 conversations, and around 60 to 65 new clients booked. And that kind of volume, it forces a new problem. And that problem is not where do I get clients, but it is who do I say yes to. And the next big shift wasn't just the clients, it was more control.
Learning about expectation versus agreement, you know, people who were kind of grandfathered in and just familiar faces, sort of dictating how I was going to be day to day. And that's because of the powerlessness, for fear of not having a great reputation and not getting another customer again. Like, now I've got a job, now I can have control. There's an abundance of customers, and now I can confidently serve them all at a better level by actually having a system in place.
Instead of chasing every single DM, Christos started using a structured pipeline. Shorter and clearer messages, a proper consultation process, a clear step-by-step, so when the client sits in his chair, the agreement is already in place and they basically get their tattoo appointment.
We used to have 15 message exchange on Instagram DMs, and I basically get as much information of them out of them as possible. And then I needed a deposit up front for them to come and speak to me for 1 hour, and then maybe I get them booked in. Whereas I give them 1 or 2 messages, I speak to them for 15 minutes, I take £120 deposit, and I get £480 later down the line when they're coming for the tattoo. Like, I've saved myself 3 hours on the front end.
Once the demand is there and the pipeline is tight, everything changes with pricing.
I went from half days of £360 more commonly, whereas this past month, most of the day sessions have been at 20% off, so it's £480. Which is a bargain, to be honest. £480 everyone said yes to, and I've been making consistent. I'm confident in it though. I think we'll start to have consistent 10k months.
So just for you to connect the dots right here, what happened with Christos. He got more leads that went to him having more choice. The more choice, that leads also to higher standards. The higher standards, that later on leads to better projects and better pricing. And better pricing eventually leads to more income without burning out.
I was doing 9 o'clock in the morning till 9 o'clock at night, maybe 10 o'clock at night. Whereas now I'm getting there at about 9 o'clock still. But I'm always back home by latest 6. You know, I'm making more money. I'm probably tattooing for less time as well. Like, if I went from maybe 5, 6 out of 10 to 7, 8 out of 10 now we've got 30 5-star reviews, and if you see the write-ups, it's fantastic. This has been the all-time record for me.
More money, less chaos, higher quality work, 35 5-star views in just a couple of weeks, and most importantly, like, he is not a hidden tattoo artist behind a barbershop anymore. He is a real visible brand in Leeds at the moment. So where is Christos right now? So far, he has booked 60 to 65 new clients. He has consistent weeks of 2 to 3k pounds per week, and he's on track to making a 10k month. Not only that, but he has gotten 35 5-star reviews. He's now spending shorter days in the studio, but still earning more. And he has way better control about who he works with and what projects that he say yes to.
There's an abundance of customers, and now I can confidently serve them all at a better level by actually having a system in place. Now I've got no fear of someone saying no and moving on to the next one. Actually, I got a lot of validation. They want to work with you. There's a competitor on the same road, at the bottom of the road, and he's shut down. He's closed now. I'm in the back of a barber's, but it's thriving.
So he has literally gone from, will I have enough clients, to I need to say no more so I can protect my time. That is a completely different life. So let's break down a few points that you can use in your tattoo studio today that Christos has taken from Tattoo Growth. Lesson number 1 is that a survival hustle is not equal to a thriving business. You can hustle your way into the back of a barbershop, but you can't hustle your way into consistent, high-paying clients without a pipeline. And Christos, he was putting in the hours for years, but he was doing it alone and he was not doing it in the most effective way. What changed everything for him? It was the systems and not to drink more caffeine and put in more hours. Lesson number 2 is that lead flow, it gives you power. 188 leads in 30 days. And when you have more demand than you can supply, you stop people pleasing, you raise your prices, you're able to choose better projects that you actually want to do, and you finally feel in control. Lesson number 3 is that simple beats sophisticated. And you can echo Christos' own metaphor for overcomplicating trading. And Christos said something powerful here that I know a lot of artists can relate to because I've spoken to thousands of them. And that is that he used to overcomplicate everything. Long DMs, overthinking. But sometimes, and the majority of times, simplicity wins. For example, when he gathers the leads, it's just name, mail and phone number, and they have to go through a funnel where they manually write in this info for him to contact them and book them in. Simple funnel, clear steps, and that is what unlocked everything for him. Lesson number 4 is that support matters.
If you just had a platform, for example, and gave all the advice in video form, I would fail. I'd be back in the driver's seat and I'd crash. The main asset of Tattoo Growth is like the fact that all of you are there, the team. You already predict what problems I might have and the roadblocks you work through. I was like, yep, by the hand, done for you. Like, that is such a blessing.
So Christos' next targets are very simple. Consistent 10k pounds per month, better filtering so he takes fewer but better projects, and then sharper systems so clients aren't always waiting for the design. And last but not least is to continue growing not only as an artist, but also as a business owner.
I just want to get past the 10 grand a month. A version of me a year or two ago would be like, I'm gonna say, super excited with that. Now I think, yeah, well, it's just a step. I'm sure I can get more than that eventually. Starting to push up the goalposts and see where it'll go. That's just how it goes, and you kind of get desensitized and you want to achieve more and more once you start passing through the levels. I just get a bit carried away.
Oh, that's nice. So if you're watching this and you recognize yourself in Christos' story, you're probably very experienced and you're also probably very good at what you're doing. But your income is inconsistent, your days are chaotic, and you don't really have a system, you just got the hope, right? And that is exactly where Christos was. So if you want our help to help you build out the pipeline, raising your standards, raising your prices, and actually create a tattoo business that supports your life rather than suffocates it, there is a free training and masterclass down below under this video. You can watch it, it's completely for free, and if it speaks to you, you can apply to work with us the same way that Christos did and see if you qualify for our help.
All I would need to know is, this is the solution, that better than the solution that I was hoping for. So that money hurdle, that's the buy-in, that's the cost of entry. That felt like it was suffocating from where I was in the first place. But you get over that in the first fucking 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And then for the rest of your life thereafter, you've got the superpower. So it's worth the money.